Three, two, one, go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm your humble DM, and these are our players. And is that Vashti?
Yes.
I can tell. Yeah, thank you all for joining. You may be aware of what happened our previous session. I guess it was sort of the aftermath of the party beginning to travel on their own, or was it? Was last week was the first episode with the new characters, right?
I
So
think
that
it happened
also
like
would have
halfway through.
entailed,
What-
yeah,
Didn't? Yeah.
uh, the party sort of being plunged into some kind of portal as a magical after effect of an argument between Pocket and Copernicus, with neither of them yielding to the other until a very powerful wave of magic popped you into some random location in the multiverse. And the camera panned onto a new group of adventurers who have come together under inauspicious circumstances, but despite the incredible clamor of hell and through their shared camaraderie, have managed to stave off most of the ill psychological effects which are typically associated with the plane. Their sunny dispositions, if you will, seem to have acted as a sort of barrier as they aloofly made their way through the planes, having taken a rather powerful artifact from Tiamat, a diamond dragon claw, and I believe they also have in their possession for these purposes a spear, a mithril spear from the Bronze Citadel, which they were able to infiltrate at one point in their questing.
The Bronze Citadel
And they're
being a
on their
place on the plane of fire.
I believe it would be a place somewhere in Avernus, if I'm
Oh,
not
right, right, right,
mistaken.
right. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So we kind of caught you in media res of your adventuring in the lower planes, and you are sort of under the impression that you also need to gather wood from a certain crossroads, notable location in the city, but you're not exactly sure about what you're going to use them for, how they're going to
Why? Why do
help
we
you.
have to do this? Who told us to do this?
You were told by Bell and the Dark Eight, a group of very powerful creatures who probably showed up, presided over you in some kind of alternate form than their actual one, but you had the sense that they were very imposing and very powerful.
Did I
And they
know who
essentially
I
told
was
you that was
talking
their
to? I keep in mind I am a cleric of God, so like,
a god.
yeah, fuck you, God.
One of the many gods. Your voice in your head persists. A
I'm just
god of knowledge, if
I'm
I
just no,
remember.
I'm trying to establish that like yeah, my guy's a cleric and he's not going to lightly or willingly accept jobs from devils unless it coincides with the reason he's here to begin with, which is
To get back home.
to just go
You
home.
were brought here from the elemental plane of fire. You got you were hunting after like an elemental energy sphere or something like that for one of the doomed temples in your native realm. You were part of a greater movement of people to help fix your shattered realm, Farhaven, if I remember correctly. And that was the justification of how you ended up in the plane of fire. You were, yeah, coerced into signing a contract.
Right. Right. Cool. Just cool.
Those were the initial terms.
Yeah,
How the
yeah, yeah.
party
No, I
ended
know.
up
I remember that.
together.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We have presided over this, and you had an encounter with some monsters, some devils. Oh gosh, they were sort of like bovine boars, hybrid creatures. You were able to fight them off, and eventually, with your new druid companion, flew over an encampment at the precipice of the Blood War. This encampment fired upon you with ballista and crossbows, nearly killing your druid companion in the air, but if not for the clerical magic of one Illichon. And the group of you found a caravan along the road to Dis. It was a portal, and it led you to a dark bar, whereupon you were introduced to a flamboyant Arcanoloth who introduced themselves as a Shemeshka the Marauder. Now, the question is, if your characters have passed through Sigil, whether or not they're aware of who Shemeshka the Marauder is. And if you would like to, you can all roll history checks.
Ooh. Natural 20 plus 8.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, I got 20 on natural.
I have +0 history. I got a 5.
Yes.
Oh.
I got the best possible roll that I could. Without modifiers.
Yes, and you, Illichon in particular, through one way or another, are aware of who this creature is. They're sort of like they would be considered a crime boss, but they're almost like a power unto themselves in the city through manipulation, magic, and a number of dark contracts. They've managed to preside a power that rivals very few in the city of Sigil. You know that they have in their possession on them sort of magical items of the highest tier that they contract and manipulate adventurers into going on various nefarious schemes that very rarely turn out well, and that their supposed only even potential weakness is that they have a daughter who in disguise subverts around in the city and supposedly harbors a great hatred for her mother, whom she doesn't recognize as such. And there she is in front of you in a purple dress with a corset and a large Marie Antoinette wig and some blush makeup.
Before we step right up to her, I turn to my two companions and say, "Hold your tongues with this creature, friends. She is they are tricksy. Ah, yes, also the pronouns. Call them king."
Oh, yes, you would also know about the situation. They typically use she, her pronouns, but they will use any, and they do not like it if you bring attention to it. And they also feel pretty ambivalent about they, them pronouns. They definitely prefer she.
The important thing is that they are the king of the cross trade.
Oh,
She
thank
is
you
the
very
king,
much.
yes.
Noted.
Valid.
Yes, these things are not good for my Highlander tongues. She is very powerful person in the center of the multiverse, and, well, we should perhaps be not making many deals with her.
You would
Regardless of
also
her
know
boons.
that she has a particular deal which gives her supposedly great power to move throughout the universe through a certain Remander the Wise, Master of Portals.
That motherfucker.
So did she approach us as we came in this bar, or?
You were brought
we-
to her.
we walked in.
She was referred to as the Master,
Ah.
and it was told that they wanted to speak to you.
And
They
who
had
brought
essentially
us
summoned
to
you.
who brought us to her?
Some lackeys who worked at the bar, like the security bouncers. We could say that they were, for the sake of argument, they looked like a really beefy vampire spawn.
Ooh, nice.
And there is the soft sound of cantina music playing on the other side of the door. As Shemeshka calls you to sit down, there are a number of wooden chairs laid out for you. Please make yourselves comfortable.
Before sitting down, I clutch the pendant of a blank scroll around my neck and whisper a prayer of strength of mind to Ogma.
Oh. I will
Yes.
sit down and say thank you for having us here.
I sit down and say nothing.
Giannis will also be like, I love your hair. How did you grow it like that?
Oh, it's just a wig, see? And she pulls it up, and it makes a little pop sound, and she screws it back on.
Oh, delightful.
I have never
Yes,
seen
it's
such a
quite
thing like
wonderful.
this.
Magic.
Indeed.
She takes a sip of a fine brandy. And she says, yes, well, despite your being here, I must wonder how much it is you really know of your purposes that you're serving, what it is that the powers that be, the powers greater than this realm, will have you do. They haven't even told you all of the proper ingredients to get for your mission.
Oh?
Yes, so far you seem to have the diamond dragon claw and this spear, and yet you lack the other essential elements. You were brought to this realm through powers nefarious. For one thing, because it's timeless and a good haven for powerful adventurers that may cause trouble or be of significance in their native realms. But more importantly, to do a job, to do a very specific job for the Dark Eight in order to help realign the balance of power as it serves throughout the complicated politics of the realm and realms beyond. Do you understand my meaning?
Ogma has put my path through many treacherous places. I do not always understand where his path is taking me, but I know where it ends. Home.
I do love furbolgs, yes, and I have the magical powers in order to get you exactly where you want to go. Would you brave the terms of your contracts now, which would dismiss you through a treacherous end, enslavement in your death, or perhaps out through Sigil and the River Styx? Would you go through some other portal, perhaps by those who are rained down on the Blood War now, or would you take what I have behind the curtain? And they press, or no, they go and they get a curtain and they pull it down.
Does it make a squeak? Like,
Yeah, it's very, yeah, it's very squeaky. I must get this
How
oiled.
mysterious.
Janus gasps.
And behind
I
you
don't
can
even know
see
what it is.
what there's a large sort of archway gated with swirling purple diffuse magic, and they say, please, what realm would you go to? What realm would you prefer?
The Farhaven. Take me to the Farhaven. Let's go home. I have the fire for my mountains. I do have the sphere with the energy in it, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I pull out this
And
this Namekian Dragon Ball sized sphere with flaming energy swirling inside of it.
very good. And when you pull out that sphere, the fire from it begins to intensify.
Oh shit! It always does that.
It's not any hotter necessarily, but you can feel the intensity of it grow, and the light shines in through the portal, and you are able to see the realm of Farhaven. Would you like to describe? You said it was in a certain mountain range, maybe where you're from originally.
Yes. Well, I imagine that through the portal we see a city on the shore, and it has a large force field around it, which is keeping back tumultuous hurricanes and storms, and floating like a giant phallus of doom behind it is this enormous jet black tower that floats above the city, made of pure adamantine. And you see that the force field is being projected from this strange tower. And far in the distance, far, far in the distance, are the mountains which are constantly cracking and crumbling and bursting fire forth to destroy and decimate the land. It must be contained. I have the containment.
And there's a discharge of magic, and the archway turns into gold, and begins to slowly turn into gold. And Shemeshka says, "Oh, goodness, these damn spell effects!" And she pulls a lever down, and
Would you like a hand?
I got some oil of slipperiness if it would help.
oh, actually, yes, that would be very wonderful. And
I pass her a
Definitely
little
go.
bit to grease it with.
Very kind of you.
and she puts it in a bag of holding immediately.
Doesn't even oil it. Like, just takes it.
Yes, it will be very
Okay.
usable later.
Okay. I mean, I
Yes,
kind of
and,
expected it back, but okay. You do you.
She ignores that. And she says, well, the last of
Wait, have you stolen a thing from
Art-
my friend? Has she stolen this thing from you?
she's given it to me.
Ah, yes, of course.
Sit down. Or,
It was brought to
do you
borrow,
know how
but
many
I don't wanna
vampire
push this.
spawn there are outside the room who would love nothing more than to devour you? Well, not
At least 2.
at least. Indeed.
I know these numbers.
No. But where are my manners? As we were, you were brought to this realm by the grace of those powerful dark beings, and it was to reunite, or bring back unto Avernus a group of adventurers of some importance. And they call out, Montello! Montello!
Oh,
Fix this
no.
damn contraption!
God damn it.
And you can hear and the curtain opens again, and on the other side you can see what looks like a party. Imagine a dark party led by a small fairy with a little cape, sort of chubby for its size,
Extremely. No,
holding onto a
grotesque.
book.
He's grotesque.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is a goth owl person,
Oh.
like fishnets along their arms and legs, and yeah, scarcely enough armor.
Scarcely enough skin. Oh, look at this. Look at the shape of her.
Yeah, it's very feathery. You can see what looks like a full vampire, though you're not quite sure if it's an affect or a costume in their midst, dressed to the nines, absolutely like a dawn.
Is that one of those vampire larpers that I saw in Sigil?
They have some kind of what looks like a mechanical crossbow, more advanced than you've ever seen, strapped around one of their wrists, probably their left wrist. And there's also a dragonborn sorcerer who has a very dark red hue, almost essentially black, carrying a wand in which the group of them are sort of enshrouded with shadow at the outskirts of a palace, what looks like a palace in the Underdark. And it appears as if they are furtively making their way around some far ranges in order to infiltrate the space.
You just said dragonborn. Did Copernicus turn into a tall, muscular, handsome dragonborn man, or is he still a little kobold?
He
You said dragonborn. He was a
You're right.
kobold.
I did say a dragonborn. You see a dragonborn. You
What
do
the
not see a
fuck?
kobold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rather handsome.
He's got his chest puffed
They,
out.
they have a wand. Yeah, it's a straight black wand.
Not a gay black wand.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know.
Leo
the
is
reason.
not there, is he?
Leo's not there.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe Leo is the buff dragonborn. Maybe we're getting played right now.
Oh, oh my god.
Mm,
Oh my god.
yeah, saucy.
I do not know these people. This is a vision we're
They
seeing,
are-
right? Like through.
Yeah, it's through the same portal that
Okay.
you saw Farhaven from.
Yes, I
It
do not
just-
know these people. They seem rather sinister.
Yes.
Do we
they-
see? Sorry, do we see Montello in this room?
You actually, yes, you are able to see Montello. He, oh goodness, what? I forget what kind of creatures they are now.
Oh.
A
You
turtle.
played one of them, Keaton, in a
What?
campaign not too long ago.
It's the big-headed monk.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Montello
the type of
species.
creature that Montello is. I can see it in my head. I just can't think of the name.
Like, they're
Describe it to
super
me.
Massive, tall forehead.
Yeah, they look very like green alien-ish. They're
Oh,
from
a Gith?
Gith.
a Gith
He's-
Yankee.
he-
Yes, yes, yes.
He's either a Gith Yankee
Or
or a
Gith
Gith
Zerai.
Zerai. They're very different.
I think he is a Gith Zerai.
Gith Zerai
More
are.
powerful one.
Excuse me? One isn't more powerful than the other.
Mm,
Gith Zerai
there's
aren't
like
more
a-
powerful than Gith Yankee. They're a race torn in twain that are constantly at odds at one another. One is more monastic, while another is more martial, but they aren't more powerful than one another.
Just trying to find one of
The
them
Gith
has one
Zerai are more philosophical, and the Gith Yankee are more militaristic.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you would say the Gith Yankee are more powerful because they're more aggro, but that doesn't mean that they keep the other under their foot. They are constantly at
Yeah.
odds.
Well, this one is in the service of Shemeshka, so
Yes.
there's that.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Either, no matter which one they could be either under service of Shemeska, but they're probably a Gith Yankee.
Okay.
No, I mean obviously it's up to you. I'm just saying based off of whatever the universe knows about these races. The Gith Yankee are typically lawful evil, where Gith Zerai are typically lawful neutral. But people are people and do things people do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it was the Gith Zerai.
So more of a monk type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I seem to remember.
Yeah, sorry to sidetrack. I just wanted to know if he was in the room.
No, I wanted to
Yes,
know
he
more about him too, just 'cause I don't remember a lot.
It's fine. It's been a minute. And they, Shemeshka, says here, while we have the moment, take this, and they throw the oil of slipperiness, and you
I
can
like
see this
fumble
Gith begin to
catching it.
climb up the curtains. They grab the oil from here.
Who grabs the oil? What?
And here I thought I was
Montello.
going to get it back.
No, Montello got the oil. Got it.
Yeah. Yes, you have been brought here through whatever means contracted for these purposes. And the wood from the crossroads, well, there is essentially a magical ritual. I won't bore you with the details, but here is a scroll. And they place a scroll on their desk.
I take it.
Yes, and it will tell you the details.
A cleric can
You
use
will
this
need some
scroll.
tur-
I ask. A cleric, such as myself, may use this scroll. I have seen some scrolls
You
that
have a-
only wizardies can use.
cleric and a druid in your midst. It is old magic, which precedes any class systems and specifications.
The old magics. The old magics are forbidden where I come from.
The old magics are slightly more reliable in this era of the spell plague, though the essence of magic itself appears to be corrupted irreparably for the time being. This is why my portal machine was turned into gold. Luckily, we have a very powerful magical tinkerer in Montello the jeweler. Yes, and I employ only the finest dark artificers and other persons of some significance in doing my nefarious deeds. Yes.
Have you ever
yes,
considered a light artificer? They are very good.
Yes, I do love watching them come slowly corrupted.
So
Then
what's up with those four?
you should.
Those four people. What's their deal?
I'm sorry.
The people in the vision,
like,
you
talk
showed them
about
to
going on
us.
over there?
Why have you shown us
Oh.
this thing?
Yes, they are the ones that you were going to rebind, for it was not their destiny, but they have been separated from this realm. And Asmodeus, among others, would like to have them returned. They would not come willingly, and they will not sign any contracts, believing their own power rather mighty. So we'll have you bring them back through a magical connection.
No.
That's where I come in.
I will not kidnap people for your slavery. Not even to return myself to my home.
They will not be made slaves. They will simply be allowed to go along the path that they have agreed to. It will help them serve their purpose in the will of Ao and gods which are more powerful than even Asmodeus. If you do not take me up on this offer, I'm afraid you may not leave this building alive.
Is that a risk we're willing to take? Because it kind of looks like Janus is really like, they don't have like a lot of facial expressions, but they do have eyebrows that are kind of like very kind of prehensile. So it looks like it's furrowed. It's very much a no. Like
These people
Wow.
that we will seek, you can promise they will not be being imprisoned against their will or set on paths that are not their own, but will be free to make their own choices.
Yes, they will walk their own path, most certainly. And it would not be the will of the gods that they be made mere slaves. Rather, they are just to be brought back to fulfill the destinies which they have resolved themselves to, and from which they have lost their way through dark magic.
We cannot ignore our faiths. I will...
You need ignore nothing, for the contract doesn't
You
bind you to this
misunderstand me,
realm.
King. We cannot ignore our fates. I am saying that they too cannot ignore their destinies, if they have been so laid out for before them. Should they not be slaves, I will return them to their paths. Should you return me to mine.
That seems very equitable.
What say you, companions? You say little. Does the air here, does it shrivel your tongue? Is it too thin? Is it lowlander air? I know it is not lowland,
I
we are
mean-
hellland.
You did
Seems
tell them
like
not
an
to
easy
talk.
solution. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We either help her and these people, or we go out there and fight those guys.
Fight? Who said
I
fight?
feel like we should help them.
Fighting? There is no fighting. We are returning them to their paths.
can I request that I don't be returned to my home plane? I'd rather go with my companion here. This fire needs
Yes,
to
you
get
are
to his
welcome
mountain
among the
quickly.
people of the mountains.
Oh, good.
Yes, it is, I suppose, possible, but there is an additional favor that I might request.
Additional favors.
I mean, it sounds more like we're cutting
In-
your workload in down a bit. You only have to transfer two people to one place.
This realm, we are not allowed by the laws which govern it to do goodness for its own sake, but must only deal in exchanges. And this
yes.
subsequent exchange I offer then to you to find the creature known in the realms as Maris, and to even strike upon her one hit which may weaken her for future adventurers to destroy.
Who is this Meris?
But
Yes.
the powerful demon who has been trapped in a small corner of this realm near the crossroads. After you perform your ritual, or before, perhaps. Probably best to do it before. For once these adventurers come back, you cannot guarantee the outcome.
Well, Nelly, I suppose you must make your deal as well for you to get your way home. Would you like to come with me to the mountains of my newly restored home, or shall you return somewhere else? We apparently will be needing deals for this as well.
Might come with you guys. Sounds like a good adventure.
You are most welcome and will eat full of our stoops.
Thank you.
And yes, indeed, there is said to be a lamp there at the bottom of this Maris's realm, containing a powerful gene. And if you might perhaps return that creature to me unspoiled, then I can take the three of you individually wherever you like.
I have stated how I feel about imprisonments, but genies are ancient creatures of lore. I think they are beyond my capacity to free. We will return them to you.
Luckily, that is just my realm of expertise.
So, just so we know who we're looking for, what does this Meris look like?
Oh, you will know. She is the only creature in her corner of the realm. I would
that's good.
be remiss to spoil the surprise.
When you said we were serving
Ominous,
members
but
of
okay.
the Eights, that wouldn't include it wouldn't include Jubilex, would it? He's not going to be showing up or anything. Not that I would mind, but I just don't want to see him, you know?
You can see that the creature is
You can see Genesis.
confused by this.
Janus's eyebrows are just fucking at maximum capacity, just like.
One of their eyebrows goes up. I think that they are in a different realm, although if it were not the carrot, it could perhaps be the stick. I have a portal to the abyss. And powerful me bring your worst nightmare upon you, should you fail me.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
Very well, then this is the last thing that you need. And they pull out another little soul coin. Although this one is a little bit wider, and you can see an engraving of a small tiefling child. And from the coin, there is a little ghost. A small tiefling. As I remember, they had on some astral robes and a staff. And they, Shemeshka says, this is the soul of a creature who had magic suggestion to make them think that they were quite a bit older. And the ghost creature from this says, "Hey, I'm not a kid. I'm a real guy. I'm just like a regular dude who was turned into this tiefling child." And Shemeshka says, "Shut up, you. Go with these people now and do as you're told." Well, better hang out with you.
I will take the coin from her and just sort of like hold it.
Sorry, describe the coin to me one more time.
It's like a wider, larger soul coin with an engraving of a tiefling on it that appears to be a spitting image of the creature that is there.
Anything in
as a
profile
ghost.
and talking?
The Canoloft tells you that this is the inverted soul of a companion to the party called Theodis, and that it was also in some circles known as a heartless soul, which is created in the event of a physical form which is destroyed and the soul continuing to exist, essentially. There is something that is absorbed into the essence of that artifact. They tell you that it's a very powerful art wand in this case. But the heartless essence essentially goes on and can be pressed into a soul coin with the right knowledge base.
Well, hey there, little buddy. Hi. I guess you're coming with us
Who are
now.
you? What do you guys want?
Well, I'm Nell. This is Ilakan.
I can't really fight you guys. I can do magic, but it'll just go right through you. So I'm a powerful sorcerer when I was alive.
Well, I mean, we don't want to fight you. We're just
really strong, like, and good looking.
When you were alive,
I'm still
I'm sure
good looking,
you
right?
were.
But I was really popular, good with the ladies, loved to
Yes,
drink.
of
You know,
course.
I was just like I was like 20 something, and you know, changed into this. I touched a cursed chalice.
Yes.
And that's my story.
Wow. How did you become a coin?
I don't really remember.
What is the last thing you do remember?
Just remember doing badass stuff, you know. I was at this bar. I think that I had some nightshade and some Morglorp and some cocoa powder, you know.
But my word,
just a night out on the town.
these are substances that I was always told to stay very far away from when I spent my times in the doors of cities. City of doors.
I'm pretty sure that didn't kill me, you know. I just don't remember what did.
I mean, if you don't remember, it's probably a swift death.
And you know the people we're looking
Shemeshka
for.
says, "Could you stop having this conversation in my office?"
Yes,
Oh,
I was. Yes.
sorry.
Please.
Rude.
Sorry, coin boy. In my pocket you go. Enjoy the hard candies.
There's a muffled and Shomeshka says, "Yes, that's much better. He's incipient
He seems
child."
quite nice.
Very powerful sorcerer. It's very good.
Very good looking as well.
Very
Oh,
well. We
sorry.
have our tasks from you.
Shomeshka rolls her eyes.
We have our tasks
Yes,
from you.
and I
We
hope
shall...
that you will.
Go ahead.
No,
No,
it's fine. You can leave.
You were
It's
saying?
not a big deal. The instructions on that scroll will tell you the manner in which you are to shape the dragon claw and spear tip. You will use these infernal salts, and they put a bag of salt on the table. There's a little scream as they put it down, and use it to make a magic circle.
Everything here screams. It was like picking,
It gets
Leonard's also
old.
picking up the sand.
It gets corny. Not that I know you are not the one making the screams. I'm not calling you corny. I'm calling this place corny.
Yes. Well,
Uh,
thank you.
It is a bit
Shemeshka-
overplayed.
Shemeshka says, I'm not the power in charge of this realm.
That's what I said. I said it's not your problem. I'm saying I'm just lamenting on this corniness of this place.
I do not enjoy being here any more than anyone else.
Good.
And only come on necessary business ventures.
Of course.
No. Although the decoration of this office is sufficient, and you
Yes.
can see it looks like a Mexican birthday party, essentially.
Yes.
Different
It
random,
reminds me of the ceremonies from down south back home, the Chincinteras.
Yes. And she says, but well, I very rarely like to be in spaces where I'm not quite in control of the aesthetic or my wonderful office at Fortune's Wheel. Should you survive your adventurings, please do come and visit me, and I will reward you all most handsomely.
Well, thank you for the threats. Thank you for abducting us here. It's been very pleasant. We will be going.
You
Indeed.
have saved yourselves half an evening's travel by my good graces, which in this realm can be the difference between life and death. If you would like rooms, you may have one on my tab. Also, there is a 50-50 chance that some ambitious creature will definitely try and hunt you in your sleep. So, take that at your own risk.
You are quite generous with your information and your bed.
And your statistics.
Yes. If you would like to preempt this, I suppose that you could always go down to the fighting rings and, whoever it is that would probably attack you, certainly be willing to have it out in broad daylight.
Won't be necessary. No.
It has been long since I have stepped onto the dirt sand of the ring. To represent the glory of Agma in battle. Which does not happen often, as he is a god of bards and knowledge. Not a lot for fighting.
Oh, yes.
Hear that?
More on the side of song battles.
No, I will be doing the hurt you battle, yes. Not you, sorry. I will not be singing. I do not sing when I fight.
So, we're not sleeping here, right?
Of course, why not? She has
Yeah, we
warned
need
us
to play
about.
those odds.
And if we want to have a nice night's sleep, we can go down to the ring and have it out with, like she said, whoever it is will maybe most likely be trying to kill us in our sleep.
Well, I won't let you go alone. It would just be awkward. So I suppose that's what we're doing.
Well, we could just take our chances. I mean, they can't kill all three of us at once.
No, you.
And I don't sleep.
You are welcome to make this decision outside of my office then. I have very much poetry to attend to.
I am working at the
Oh,
door.
goodbye.
And they pull out a dusty tome, Rambo, A Season in Hell.
Nice. Jason Goes to Hell is like one of the classics, like.
Yes,
Is
By the way, this week we're
Montello
rolling
still
on
in this room?
David Foster Wallace. Montello is behind the curtain.
What's the policy?
Can I see him?
No.
what does this character know about Montello?
No, I want my oil slipperiness back.
right.
I was gonna go get it.
As you're walking
Like,
out, it's like, oh, your
behind the
oil.
curtain. Okay.
You look behind, and Shemeshka just points out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we're
My
walking to
God,
the
yeah.
fighting pit now, right?
You do not need to do this thing. As our friend says, you may take your chances, have a nap, wake up to a barb in your face, perhaps, and deal with it then, which is totally fine option. I prefer to deal with mine now. Please,
I don't
do not
sleep.
feel obligated. I can handle myself.
No,
Yeah, we
it
could
could just be
always-
awkward. Come on.
Very well.
You always settle traps in the room.
You are very good traveling companions.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love the
guess we're
different
doing
mix and
this.
dynamic here. Like, when it was like Pocket going into the ring, Blake was like, alright, see ya. Like,
Yeah.
It's good.
So you come out of the office and you walk through a short hallway. There are a couple of bouncers there waiting for you, beefy red dudes. We'll say they're like tieflings, they're just massive. built out. And on one side of the stage or on one side of you to the left, there is a stage. It's sort of serpentine, and it goes out into the center of the room. Right now, there is a dancer woman, a lady in black, who is doing some dancing, some scandalous cabaret, as the mariachi band plays a softer, a slower ballad. And you can see a number of vampire spawn brought to tears. The performance, just absolutely touched. And some old humanoids or some regular looking human persons despondently looking into their glasses and, scattered conversations happening at various parts of the bar. But pretty much everyone ignores you for the most part. You can see a passageway on the opposite end of the stage that is labeled. It says rooms and hot tubs. And on the other side of the building closer to you, there is the fighting ring. And then you see a bar on the far end that says Gugalaki. And another bar on the opposite end of the stage that says tequila ?
Oh no. Oh man, that would draw me Keaton in an instant, but not Illichon.
Yeah.
Not Illichon. So yes, I continue walking with a steady pace towards the entrance of the fighting round rings.
Mm-hmm.
No bars for me. Not until after I fight. Must keep the mind and the body clear.
I won't have a mouth, but if I can still change, then I will have a mouth and then I can drink. I wonder what that would be like.
What type of creature are you? Oh, goodness.
Yanis is a Warforged.
You're a robot.
Can only drink.
In what shape are you, though?
Just like a big fucking iron giant built, like, kind of...
One thing, I know you said you don't have to sleep. You still have to rest, though. You don't like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a standby mode, though, so they're still kind of alert and awake, so it's pretty sick, actually.
Oh, it's like an elf who is always aware of their surroundings.
But I like the idea of, like, a robot turning into, like, a boa constrictor and then getting, like, indigestion when they're still a robot, after eating, and it's just like, how?
Wait, so you, like, transform into... like biological animals, not mechanical animals. Yeah. You're not. That's so cool. Why have I never thought of a druid warforged as a transformer? Like their wild shapes are just like you just make them also warforged. There's no reason you couldn't do that.
That would be way cooler. I will see if I can change that. That would be way funnier.
Oh, and I mean, I didn't mean that. It's whatever.
No, I would love that. That's sick. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, we head over to the fighting pits.
Cool, and you can see what looks like an incubus fighting some kind of human male. He has a whip. The incubus does.
Does the incubus
just whipping the shit out of this guy?
Does the incubus say something like, "I wish you were here"? The band Incubus.
Yeah, we'll say
shitty joke.
That
I imagine he's got the tattoos of the guy from Incubus. I imagine it's just the guy from Incubus is an Incubus in this fight.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And he is, wraps his whip around the neck of this human and just pops it off. The crowd kind of goes crazy, and he takes a bow.
How impressive!
You can see there's a Glabrazu, if I remember correctly. Glabrazo. Yeah. Who appears to be dealing with the details. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It's the same kind of devil creature that came up to get Borean.
Amnesu.
Amnesu? That's the one. kind of like the the one who kidnapped Princess Leia in Star Wars.
Kind of like a bipedal Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, like a Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, that's what they look like.
Like a Vogon.
Oh my god.
And
Cool.
so it appears as if they're the ones who are directing the action. And their senses kind of tingle when you guys walk around, and they telepathically say, "You wish to take part in the fighting ring."
Oh,
I'm thinking back at
To
them.
preempt
I'm trying to
those.
think back at them.
yeah, literally, like very intensely, just like I suppose if my friend is doing it, yes.
Yes.
Like,
I
You don't
We
need
all
to
have
focus that hard to communicate with me.
yes.
I can hear your thoughts. Stop it. You're going to give yourselves an aneurysm.
I do not know the meaning of the word.
There's like a song stuck in Giannis's head, and it's just like looping like every 3 seconds. Like,
Just the same 3 seconds of a song. Yeah.
literally.
But yes, I step forward, and do I have like a view of the crowd from where I am?
Yeah. It's a lot of imps and tieflings.
I clear my throat.
There are a couple of dark magicians hanging out. Dark magician girls.
Hell yeah. I clear my throat, and I say, I point my finger. Now, drag it across the crowd. There are those among you who think that they can come while we rest to take our lives, or else. I say, come and take them now.
And 2 armored dragon creatures. They look like they're
you
not quite
can.
kobolds. Let me see. I will put an image in the chat because they're kind of in a hybrid form.
Oh, cool. Kobolds.
They sort of look like this. Like humanoid dragon persons, not quite like dragonborn,
Where are you posting?
but a little bit more deft. It should upload any second.
Cool.
Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Nelly. Yeah.
And
Interesting.
they're on the smaller side, but there are 2 of them. Let me see. Let me just double check something. Yeah, there are 2 of them. And they say, fine, if that's how it's going to be, we're ready for this. And they each have maces that appear to have sort of discharging electrical energy. And they drag them together, sort of like Wonder Twins or something like that, and begin making their way towards you in the arena. The space goes up. We'll say that it's approximately 60 feet in diameter, and that you're on opposite ends of this space, essentially. Let us roll initiative.
Cool.
Oh wow! I really thought ours were better than that. Those guys are pretty scary looking.
I got
They
a
are
12.
nothing. Fear not, friend.
Are we, should I, how hard should we go on them?
I got a 6.
They mean to
Are
kill
we-
us, friend.
No, but are we going to kill them, or are we going to kill them?
On their armor, you notice a symbol that you saw in the temples when you were getting your dragon claw, diamond dragon claw. The symbol for Tiamat is on their breastplates.
These creatures will show us no quarter. We will give them none as well.
What did you get, Illican?
19.
And you, Nell?
6.
Illican, you're the first to act.
I wield my spear in one hand and my shield on the other, and I step forward, and as I do, on my shield I have the blank scroll of Agma. I raise it forth, and I begin chanting prayers in my people's holy tongue. And I cast Spirit Guardians as my ancestors flit up around me, swirling through the air to protect me. So I move forward 30 feet as I cast Spirit Guardians, which is a 15-foot radius around me.
Wonderful. And I just need you to make a D100 roll as
Yes.
you attempted to cast this spell.
Of course. 78.
78. And your Spirit Guardian effect is not cast. You don't lose a spell slot, but the spell fails.
My guardians. They say this is my fight.
There's
My fight
jeering,
alone.
from the crowd. Your gods won't work here. Jeer, jeer.
It happens to the best of us. Don't be mean.
Very well. We shall fight Akinando. This is without magic in my tom tongue. But that was my action and my movement.
Yeah.
Let me double
anything
check
else?
my bonus actions real quick. Ooh. Very well. We shall fight San Akinando. And I go invisible using my racial or I think it's either racial or my class ability as a bonus action. Turn invisible until the start of your next turn. You attack, deal damage, or force a saving throw once per short rest.
Okay, could you just roll me a D100
Of course.
as you become invisible?
56.
Wow.
I know it's magic. It's not a spell, but it's something different.
It's true. You become invisible, and in the... Oh, hang on a second. Yeah, we're going to say that it happens this way. Interesting. Hundreds of sheets of tea-stained and rotten paper begin sort of almost falling in all directions around you in a vortex that sort of encloses this battlefield, making the territory somewhat more difficult. We're going to say that it counts as half cover between you and your opponents.
Whoa, it's half cover?
It's like, yeah,
Interesting.
it's a storm of paper.
It doesn't impede movement, though? It's not difficult terrain?
It is difficult terrain.
So it's difficult terrain, but everyone has +2 AC, I believe, or +1.
Whoa. Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. A creature with half cover has a +2 to AC and dex saving throws.
Do we know what these creatures are called?
They look like small dragonborn. You can make a nature check if you like.
Oh,
But we'll wait until your turn, if that's okay.
yes.
I will write it down. It is now the creature's turn. 1 second. Half speed. Cool.
Now they also
So
get
their
plus 2 AC.
speed.
Just keep that in mind, everybody.
Yeah. The same. They're going to sprint to attempt to throw themselves at you, Illican. Almost like a slam attack
I adopt a wind stance.
or grapple. What does that mean?
Oh, I mean nothing mechanically, but it's a stance where I am light on my feet, more able to easily flow through attacks and return parrying blows.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll say
it's just like a
you-
flavor thing.
Yeah, still, because of the winds, also, we'll say that you can make a Constitution saving throw, and go ahead and add that same +2 from the cover to your throw, on top of whatever else you get.
I rolled poorly. I rolled a 4 plus my 2 con plus the extra 2. 8.
Okay, so you are
I am invisible.
essentially grappled.
I was
Oh.
invisible this whole time.
You are invisible, so we'll say that they knew where
would have
you
needed to
were,
make,
but there's a lot of space here.
They would have
They
needed.
run into you, but they don't grapple you. They just bounce off of you. So you are still going to take some damage.
Okay.
But it will be, you won't be grappled,
Okay.
and you won't be stunned either. That's 20 points of bludgeoning damage. And the creatures are knocked back, nearly prone, but not quite prone. You can see through the vortex of dust. You are still invisible because of the nature of your magical ability,
Yes.
however. And that is their turn. It is now Janus's turn. You can hear this, but you can't quite see it through, or you can just half see it, maybe through the vortex of swirling pages that cover the arena. You can
Well-
hear boos beginning to rile.
Cool. If that's the case, well, I did ask whether or not we're going to kill them or whether or not we're going to kill them.
Kill
And I got
them!
told we're going to big kill them. So Giannis is going to like take a second, kind of like puff out, do a little sigh, and then just turn into a giant scorpion and fucking with blind sight hunt down one of them and just just start fucking going at them. I have
Can you
3
make
attacks.
a D100 roll for me?
Yeah, sure. This is a feat thing, so.
Yeah, I know.
Fine. Yeah, D100. Oh no. 43.
So you begin. It's funny because we've had this weird obsession with the way that you speak. In this form, you are able to turn into a slightly larger than you would anticipate scorpion. It's about 10 feet wide. And you begin speaking in some kind of archaic primordial dialect
Do
through
all
the
the demon
vortex
stuff.
of swirling pages, and it's rather scary.
Can I understand any of this? Because I know that she does speak primordial or understand it.
It's
Right.
in a very ancient formation of primordial, but you probably can make out some of what it is that your companion is saying. What are you saying?
Like they're kind of just talking to themselves because no one really hears them.
Probably
when they're
like a
in
war
beast
chant. Yeah, it's
it's like,
maybe
well, I suppose
slightly
I'm
more
gonna
whimsical
happen.
than you would expect.
just Just being like, I wonder if I ate him, where would it go if I turned back? It's just like really weird. But yeah, no. So the
Sounds
giant
terrifying.
scorpion. Yeah, it sounds awful to listen to. But as a giant scorpion, it's just gonna grab one of them with both its claws and then just start fucking stabbing the shit out of them with its tail.
What's your speed as a giant scorpion?
40 feet, and I can go through difficult terrain because I have 6 massive legs.
Hmm.
That's so cool.
We'll say that you're able to get to one of them. Is that like a feat of the creature?
Yeah,
Difficult terrain?
Yeah, it's just one of their abilities is that they ignore difficult terrain.
Cool. Yeah, so you are able to get to one of them, and you can make your attack roll.
Cool. So that's 2 for the claws, 1 for the stinger, and then the poison. So, let's roll these.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. One of them misses. So we got an 11. Wait, no. Let me actually calculate this not like an idiot. So we have a 15, a 13, and a 5.
They all miss, actually. You are able to
Ow.
get into their armor, but not penetrate through it.
Oh,
You think
shoot.
that your momentum is kind of curtailed by the flying papers.
Yeah.
But you
hear
continue
like
to make this treacherous noise, and the creature is rather shocked. You can actually see from behind their armor a couple of tentacles, like in the air, sort of gyrating back and forth.
Cool. Okay, yeah, that's me.
Oh, Nelly.
I
Oh,
made the
no.
mistake of looking up scorpion faces.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel.
Then, so yes, can I figure out what these creatures are with a nature roll?
Yes. Yes, go ahead and make your nature check.
19.
You think that that's enough? Well, that's enough that you're able to know that they are offspring of the goddess Tiamat. They are shapeshifters and cunning. They often take on humanoid forms. In this case, they're sort of taking the form of a dragonborn, although you know that they are a bit bigger than that in their natural shape, which they can transform back and forth into as an action. You know that they have tentacles in addition to their regular weapons, and they regenerate health and are resistant to regular damage, non-magical damage, among other forms.
Okay. In that case, there's a spell that I might want to try then. So are they fairly close to each other?
Yeah, they're about 15 feet away, although your vision of isn't great through this. They were like 15 or 20 feet away.
Are any of my well, obviously, Yanis
Yes.
has one.
And the other one, I think, is near your now invisible Illicon companion.
How would you guys feel about a dexterity saving throw?
Fine.
You can't. That's not a question that you can ask in battle. Functionally,
I know.
That's a little bit
okay.
too metagamey, I'm afraid.
Okay. So
You can just do what your character would do.
This could be dangerous, but I want to do Conjure Barrage, and I'm going to do it with my longbow. So you throw a non-magical weapon or fire a piece of non-magical ammunition into the air and create a cone of identical weapons that shoot forward and then disappear. Each creature in a 60-foot cone must succeed on a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Cool. So you pull back your bow and attempt to cast this spell. I need you to make a D100,
Yes.
and I'll tell you what happens.
18.
18. The spell works as normal, and I need everyone in the space to make a dexterity saving throw.
I fail.
14.
What's your save DC?
Oh yeah, it should say your save DC in your thing. And
It's in your spell information.
Yeah, looking for it. Dex 14.
I did it. Meets it, beats it.
Cool. Let's see. Half as much on a successful save. So roll your 3d8.
– 18.
So you take 18 points of damage, or half as much. Same type as the weapon.
I'm very sorry.
It's okay. Like,
I am severely
Nell
wounded.
I'm
Nell
sorry.
can't,
I
like,
can't see.
Giannis doesn't know that Nell can hear him, so he's just like, "Ow!"
Yeah, you
It's
just
like
kind
a
of
primordial
shoot
warble.
through all of this stuff, and yeah, the vortex continues to swirl around the group of you. It is now Illicon's turn.
I am
Fuck him up.
very hurt.
Fuck him up.
Oh my goodness. This may have made a mistake.
I'm
There's
sorry.
more. There's a bit of a jeer from the crowd at this point. Actually, like, "Oh man, that was fucked." You can hear
Because
some
they don't
dark
see me.
magicians
They
say,
just see arrows sticking out of floating above a pool of blood.
"It was like a shotgun."
Okay. Yeah.
I'll cure wounds later. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I am a cleric. What do I want to do?
You should flee. Like, I'm a giant scorpion. I'll be fine.
You're invisible right now. You can see one of them is engaged with your scorpion companion through these sheets, and that the other one is about 10 feet away from you, but you're invisible, so you can get away without an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
And you think in the vortex it would be harder for them to see you.
Yes,
With
I
a
am
giant
going
scorpion
to.
right there.
I am going to retreat towards my ranged friend.
So yeah, you can see Illicon kind of shambling towards you.
Well, you
now.
see the pool of
arrows
blood.
pointing.
You see the arrows and the blood coming towards you.
Okay. I can feel the judgment. I
No,
can't
no,
see
no, no.
you, but
Once
I
the
can
Did you
arrows
feel
get-
it.
did you
right?
get
into your
them?
body, they disappear.
Did you hit them?
One
I
of them.
think so.
Good job. I am going to stand here for a moment, catch my breath, and
There was a very good reason why I did that.
no,
I'm-
it worked. It worked.
I only have
Okay.
non-magical weapons.
Oh,
Aside from that.
these people have angered me greatly. They tell me my god means nothing here. I will show them the power of my god. Oh, Ogma, I beseech you, show these non-believers what it is exactly that you believe in. And I use...
You can hear an echo. Non-believers.
I use it divine intervention and request my deity's aid and need to roll an 11 or less on a D100 for my deity Ogma to intervene, which is obviously completely up to you. But this is what I do.
Make 2 D100 rolls.
Oh no.
I'll
27.
intervene.
Mm-hmm.
15. Ogma, I hold your scroll and speak your name in my ancient holy tongue. Ogma.
And if you could make me a D20 roll.
Oh no. 9.
Ogma. Fun. Okay, so there is a quake in the ground as the name Ogma reverberates, and your body briefly, for a moment, turns into the substance of pure light and fire, and the scroll paper that is in the air catches fire in an instant, covering everything and your companions. And that is where we're going to stop for this week.
Ogma.
Great. That's really fun.
Mhm.
Cool.
Divine intervention.
I failed, by the way.
Yes,
I
indeed.
technically failed. I know I failed I know I failed the roll on my end, so I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Technically, well, on the spell plague table,
Yes.
you rolled to quadruple the power of whatever was coming, and you were in a very close range. So,
Oh god.
there was a little bit of wild magic that funneled this thing, so it wasn't very precise, but you were still able to get off some kind of effect, which we'll have to wait until next time on D&D to get into the details of and figure it out then.
Crazy shit.
Good shit.
Mhm.
Bye bye. I stopped the recording.